Welcome back. Let's do this. Hopefully my channel won't get nuked. Alright, first of all, not financial advice. Consult your licensed financial advisor. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I hold no licenses. Investing, extremely volatile right now, especially. That another reason why I haven't made videos, or I haven't really done much. So consult your licensed financial advisor before doing anything. Do not use leverage. I'm not even gonna say have stops in place because it's very volatile, right? Your stops could get ran. Do not invest anything you're not willing to lose or lose sleep over. All stocks, all equities, volatile, risky. Okay, so let's talk about all of the possibilities. I've been busy lately. I've been doing research. I've been traveling. I've been campaigning. Just trying to save everyone, and including myself, right? We live in clown world, strange, interesting times. If we survive, we'll be talking about this in the future. From I'm going to talk about the results and all of the possible results and the possibilities of what that means for the markets. Okay? At the end of the day, there will be more stimulus, no matter what. So, just based on that, long term, metals, gold, silver, and even probably Bitcoin is going to go up. And what I mean by long term is like the next 1 to 3 years. That's as long as term I'm willing to even consider, because the world is so volatile and who knows what can happen. Okay. This year is just a beginning to a new decade that is going to be probably just as wild, if not worse, than this year. So, I know I want a break. Everyone wants a break, but we're probably not going to get it, and things are just going to keep accelerating towards who knows. But for now, let's take this from month to month. All right, so December 16th is when we'll probably find out who really won. And what are the possibilities? Okay. So I really hope my channel doesn't get hit for this. I'm literally just talking about possibilities for the stock market, for equities. All right. A lot of channels have been, taken down or whatever, just for talking about anything. And it's eventually going to happen probably to all of us. So find me on other platforms. I am on other platforms. I can't put them in the description section because they don't like that either. All right. Well, you could go to my chat groups, the free ones, and I post them in there. And because people are very lazy and they can't, press a couple buttons on their phone, and They won't go to the other platforms. Whatever. You chose your life. I mean, when I'm gone, I'm gone. You're on your own. Also, yeah, lately I've been very political on my other platforms. And that's because there's a lot at stake, kind of over here fighting for your freedom. Um, and the fact that a lot of people don't help, it's not that hard to go create an account separate from your personal, so your family members and all that, and spread some uh, truths. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're probably doomed anyways. So there's no point of you watching this video or making money or anything. Trust me, it's gonna get that bad. But everyone chooses their lives. I could not care less. I do my part. I do my best, and I do that for myself. Like at the end of the day, I did my best. I did my part. Whatever happens, happens. All right, let's talk about the possibilities for the markets. So this is basically the possibilities of the election are going to affect the amount of money printing stimulus. And that is the only thing that matters. PE ratios, not so much. Fundamentals, not so much. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Only how much stimulus could be printed to keep inflating the bubble. That's all that matters. Unfortunately, that's the stage and phase we are at in this saga of financialization of the US, deindustrialization, and sacrificing it for globalization, which none of that shit's gonna work anyways in the end anyways. But I'm not in charge, or I'm not moving the chess pieces around the board. I am just one of you. Except I try harder and I do what I can, and I make a small difference. Believe it or not, I do actually make a difference. So let's get into it. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibilities. Okay. The first possibility is these flip blue, and the blue guy, let's just call him the blue guy, Biden. I'm just gonna, because I don't want to trip, the algos. He wins because right now he's just projected, and the blue gets majority in the Senate and the House. That is the least likely possibility, in my opinion, my personal opinion. It's not. I mean, if these flip blue, I don't know if they could get the Senate, but they have the House right now. And that's not going to happen, I don't think. Okay. Now, the second possibility, so I give that like a 0%. I mean, you could give it a 5%, but something like that, very small. Okay. Now, in that case scenario, you would get Venezuela pretty much, and hyperinflation. The market will keep going higher and higher and higher, but your dollars are really going to start tanking, and businesses are all going to go under. And in Venezuela, the stock market went on a tear. It ripped for like a couple years as people started starving and the country fell apart. So people keep like seeing the stock market go up, and that for some reason that they think that's good, like the economy is stronger now and better. No, it's just because the value of the currency is dropping, and that it skews your earnings as well. But in reality, you're not even making money as stocks go up. You're just not losing it as bad as if you just kept it under your mattress or in the bank. Okay? Because nominally the purchasing power of the currency is falling, but the stock is going up. Technically, the stock could be just sitting idle, not going up or down. Think of it this way. It's not really going up or down. It's just sitting there idle while the currency is dropping. But then in percentage terms, it's going up in the stock market. So it's green, but it's not really gaining any value. So when you go to sell your stocks, it's not going to buy you any more than it did like a year ago. So if the currency falls 50% and your stock goes up 50% and you sell your stock, matter of fact, you lost money because you're probably in a higher tax bracket. So you're going to get hit with more taxes. So in the end, you lost money, even if your stock went up. Okay? But that's probably not even what's going to happen in the end. So it's a false sense of it's a false indicator. It's a false sense of wealth generation at this point for people in Wall Street. But you know, they're not. I literally think they're probably too dumb to even know that. And your average normie has no idea what planet they live on. All right. So what's the next possibility? I give this one 10% possibility. What's the 10% possibility? It's where we sit currently today, November 9th. Currently. So if this happens, this goes red, this goes blue, and this goes red, right? And it just sits like this. And this is the final results. Okay? That means the blue guy wins, and they do not take majority in the Senate, but they do keep majority in the House, but they lost a lot of seats in the House, so things still might not pass in the House. But at the end of the day, even the conservatives, their knees always buckle. At the end of the day, they're all paid and bought for, okay? And they're gonna go along with the blue, with the left, okay? They just go where the wind blows, to be honest, guys. So because we had a strong president, right, personality wise and whatnot, a lot of the politicians on the right actually went along with him. They were sort of forced, and a lot of the movement itself threatened their careers in DC. So they sort of had to go with the orange guy, right? So things did pass, and a lot did get done in the past 4 years. Although I wish a few more things got done, like maybe I don't know, censorship and all that. Anyways, so in this case scenario, I give this a 10%. So how things stand currently is what we get in the end. Okay, with the votes and everything in the states. This is how it ends. All right, I give this a 10%. I don't think, but if this does happen, we're still gonna get kind of like Venezuela still, and we're gonna get runaway inflation, not super hyperinflation for the next 4 years, and I'll come back to these possibilities. Well, actually, I'll just start talking about them now, so I don't forget. So the first scenario, let's backtrack. The first scenario, the blue guy wins it all, majority in the Senate and House, hyperinflation. Okay, well, metals and gold and silver and Bitcoin are gonna just take off, and so is the market. Okay, until the bond market says we can't take this anymore, and I don't know when that's gonna be. I don't think anyone does. I'll talk about that later. All right, but I give that a 0% chance as of right now, or very low, like below like 10%. All right, so the 10% possibility that I was just talking about, the blue guy, does not have majority in the Senate. The red people keep majority in the Senate, but they do have majority in the House. Well, we're still going to get runaway inflation. They might be able to push through the Green Deal stuff and all that. Well, in this case scenario, yes, metals are going to go to the moon, mining stocks and Bitcoin, and There you go. And that could happen soon. As soon as we find out, pretty much, I believe. So December, I don't know, I think it's 13, 16, something like that. All right. All right, so here's the third scenario. I give this one a 50%. The blue guy wins. Sleepy wins, right? They do not have a majority in the Senate. And they also lose the House. So they do not have a majority in the House. And why is that? Well, because there's going to be a lot of investigations going on, and a lot of stuff is starting to pop up all over the place. And this turns red. This turns red. Maybe this turns red, right? That would give them 20. That's 35. 45, 55, 61. So 61 plus this, well, that would make him a winner. Let's just say these both are red, stay red. This goes red. But he doesn't get, so the orange guy does not get PA or Michigan or Arizona or even Nevada, like any of these that they're trying to flip, because he's got to flip like at least this one and this one and one of these to win, right? And let's say he doesn't. He only flips this one and maybe this one, but that's not enough. Because that would only give you 20. This would give you 36. 36, 46, 51, and then 53. 53 plus 214 electoral votes. 53, 63, 64, 5, 6, 7. That'd give him like 267 electoral votes. That would suck. You'd be very close, but he still has the majority still. And that's if he can't get PA or any of these big ones like Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, and PA, or even Wisconsin. So that I give that a 50% chance. But if he gets just Georgia, right? That means the blue team might lose some more seats in the House, and they do not have majority, or they keep their majority but barely. So it's very split. What that means is he would be a lame duck, meaning he's not going to get much done. He'll still probably get a few things done that none of us are going to like. But he's not going to be as effective as doing everything he wants. Maybe the Green Deal, all in endless stimulus, and the burn machine on overdrive, right? And honestly, that might not be bad. That might not be bad. Why is that? Well, the orange guy's going to do a lot of damage on his way out to the blue team. And once they're in inauguration, whatever, on the 3rd, I believe. No one's gonna think it's legitimate. Everything he's gonna do, no one's gonna like. Not even the lefties, because they don't like him either, or the vice president, second running up, which is gonna be eventually the real one. And it might backfire on Team Blue here for 2024, unless they cheat again, right? I don't know. But what I think, and not just that, the economy is going to tank, especially with a phase 2 lockdown. It's going to implode, and it ain't coming back. So, in the repercussions, you have to understand, every action has an opposite, equal or greater reaction. And I think if that's what happens, right? So I give this a 50% chance. The orange guy still doesn't win, but they won pretty much in the Senate and in the House. And then eventually the House will flip red in the next year or two, meaning he's pretty much powerless, or he should be powerless, unless a lot of red politicians are really, are going to play ball with them, which they might. I don't know. That's kind of an unknown. But what I do know is he's not going to get much done, or as much done as he wanted, meaning there's going to be major opposition from the public. Because you have to remember, there's probably like 70 to 80 million pissed off people. Like, really pissed off if that happens, if the orange guy gets thrown out. Especially if he, like, waits till the last minute and they literally escort him out of the house, the White House, which would be what he needs to do for the optics, right? So the people on the red people are like, all right, it's game on, gloves off, this is war. And at that point, he, and not just that, he's not going to be able to get as much stimulus passed, meaning the market is going to drop. We're going to get a huge correction in the market. Maybe not quickly, maybe not instantly. It might go up still through 2020 into 2021. But once we start getting towards the second quarter of 2021 and any the second quarter or the third, I mean the especially after a lockdown or something, the economic data is just going to be, they can't fudge those numbers. It's going to be that bad. And inflation, the DXY, the dollar, it's going to tank. Everyone's going to feel it. It's going to be really, really bad, like this time next year. Like, the cost of everything might be, the cost of food, everything may double or more. So, in the long run, this might be really good. But it's going to be, we're going to see some shit. Like, there's going to be bad things happening. Believe me, the mobs, they're going to make their way into suburbia, and it's just going to be very hellish. So I give that a 50% chance. Okay, so the next scenario. Now, let me talk a little more about this third scenario that I give 50% chance, which Blue Boy here, Boy Blue, he actually wins, but they don't have majority in the Senate or the House. All of the orange guy supporters, conservatives, I think a lot of them are going to pull their retirement. And I don't care how much printing the Fed does. They're not going to be able to. I mean, they might put in a bottom, but you're still going to see a 40, 30, 50% drop in equities. And, I think the bond market, I think rates are going to just start spiking as well. And the Fed will lose control, literally. And that would be just insane. And the orange guy will be right? He said the markets will drop, which they probably will. Listen, if 80, 90, 100 million or more people start pulling their retirement funds, they can't manage that drop. So I still have my hedges in place. I have positions on in case the market tanks. You need to have a position on to hedge your long-term holds in your portfolio, in my opinion, in case the market just tanks and he wins. Now everyone's saying, well, he won, so the market's going higher because there's going to be more and more stimulus. Not necessarily. Not if they don't have majority in the Senate or House. And the retail the conservative retail investors probably make up like 30-40% of the market. What if they panic and start pulling their retirement? Yeah, listen, having a position on the VIX and some inverse ETFs, or I'm not saying outright short. I don't outright short the market. That's dangerous. I just buy inverse ETFs, and there's other ways to short the market. Well, I'm not shorting it. I'm just placing a hedge. So if the market drops and mining stocks drop and all equities drop because of margin calls, my hedge position will go up massively, and then I will sell that to make up the negative equity in my account, right? If I have margin on, which I do have a margin account. So you have to, if you have a margin account, guys, you have to be careful. You have to be able to feed the negative equity in the account. And I hedge my entire account. I always have a position on, and I add to it as this market goes up higher because you just kind of have to. Okay, let's. So I talked about that. So 50% chance. I could be wrong, right? This is what I believe, that our boy Blue wins and the market just completely tanks because he's powerless to turn on the printing press. All right. I even saw like the Tea Party come back on Twitter. It's funny. They're back now, right? All right. So now this is the final. So I don't really have 5. I only have 4 scenarios. This is my 4th scenario. Orange Man wins. He pulls it. He actually, because he's a fighter. He's not going to quit till the end. And they find enough evidence. They flip enough states. He wins. I give this a 40%. Okay? This is a 40%. And if he flips, okay, first of all, he has to flip like 4 states. And if he does that, guess what happens? Not only does he maintain a majority in the Senate, but that might flip the House. And that's clean sweep, and he's got full reign and power. Now, the market may go up. So if that happens, the market's probably going to continue to go up a little bit longer. And he could turn on the printing presses himself, except he won't do it to the extent that our boy Blue would do it. And maybe that would buy us, I don't know how long. I really don't know. Maybe into the second or third quarter of 2021. But I still expect a huge correction. And there's multiple reasons why I expect a correction. Because the global order is going to punish us. I mean, they're still going to punish us, but they're going to do something big, probably. Maybe, and there's already articles coming out about like WW3, and they're prepping us. They're not going to listen. Something big and bad's going to happen. They're going to trigger the market to correct. They're going to punish us. They're still going to do the takedown. In the end, global interests want the U.S. to fall. Okay? This is populism versus globalism. All right? Get that through your head. This isn't really about the left versus right, although that is a part of it. Okay? It's just that the left are idiots. They don't realize what's really happening on a grand scale. So these are my scenarios for the market. Let's take a look at a few things. I had an article up here. Investors ignore evidence at their financial peril. All right, this chart's pretty interesting. Hopefully my mic's on. All right. So the orange line is the S&P 500 total return price. Is that PE? I don't know. It's total return. I posted this in the newsroom. Links below for the free newsroom. Oh, this is the Robert Shiller total return. So PE versus price. That's what it is. So this is return on PE versus price, the orange line. The gray line in the background is the S&P 500 total return cap. So let's take a look here. You see this channel? Every time it reaches the top of this channel, we get a huge correction. And this goes all the way back to 1929. This is a very good indicator historically. And it stops around here, so we still have some more to go. Now, if we look at the S&P 500, just the price, let's do the hyperwave thing. Rest in peace, Jenks. Okay, so that's phase one. Okay, it's not. It's not. It doesn't have to be perfect. Phase one. Phase two. Phase three. And I think now we are in phase four of the blow off top. Just going straight up. And then what happens after the phase four is we get, let's change the color to red. You get a correction, major one, that 40-50% drop, whatever. They turn on the money printers like hardcore. We get a huge bull trap. And then after that, hyperinflation, and then it's game, party's over. And this is pretty much the Wall Street cheat sheet, right? Okay, so this this top blow off, it's blow off top right here, right? What this part would be when we hit the top of this channel. When we look at the S&P 500 total return PE versus price. And that could play out in the next, I don't know, 6 months to 2 years, something like that maybe. I don't know. It's not easy anymore, guys, because you don't know the extent of their manipulation, right? Market manipulation. All right, so what else do I have? But I'll keep an eye on that chart, that information. Let's not take it. Let's take a look at a few charts. A few things that I find super interesting. By the way, the Dow and the S&P hit all-time highs today, of course. You know. Here's a weekly chart of the DXY dollar. It's, you know, it fell. It's been falling. This is a weekly chart, by the way. It's been falling ever since the news projected the our boy Blue here to win. So, but if the orange guy pulls it off, then I actually expected the dollar to rally a little bit, at least back up to the 200-week moving average, maybe back up around the 95-96 handle at the most. And then it'll probably continue to fall after that, mainly because I mean, we need more stimulus. We just do. This economy is screwed. All the good jobs data reports is they're just those are we're not adding jobs to the economy. We're just getting jobs back that we lost this in 2020 from the lockdowns. But in the end, those jobs are technically temporary, a lot of them, because the economy's not going to get better. For the economy to get better, it's probably going to take a decade of really good policies, maybe half a decade, 5 years, and a lot has to be done. So much has to be done. So much. And we'd need 2 more terms of the orange guy to really pull it to do that. But again, remember, the world's against the U.S. I guess the good news would be if Europe falls and the West, right? Or no, not the West. Europe and the U.S. is the West, but the East, China falls first before the U.S. Then we could. I'm not saying times are ever going to go back to how they were. Like the U.S. is probably economically not going to go back to where it's been, but it won't like completely deteriorate and fall to like pretty much third world status, and that's the risk. That's why I'm fighting so hard on my Twitter. All right. Anyways, yeah. So, but if our boy Blue wins, I mean, the dollar. There's nothing. There's. It's gonna be bad. The dollar's just gonna fall. It's gonna break support here, and next support is. Well, next major support. There's a little bit of support at the 89 handle. No, never mind. Hold on. At the, yeah, I'd say 88 handle. And then 84. There's some support. But once it breaks below, I believe. I mean, once it breaks below 80, it's we're starting to run into runaway inflation. Like you're gonna see it everywhere at the pumps, at the grocery stores, everywhere. Once the dollar DXY falls below like 80, 81.80, okay. And if our boy Blue wins, I mean, it's gonna fall. Probably, it's gonna go test that 80, 81 handle, but it again, I do not think he's gonna have as much power as most people think because of the Senate and the House. So he's not gonna be able to print as much as people think. I hope. You never know. Maybe maybe they will give in, all the conservative politicians in the Senate and House. I don't know. They've done that in the past. That's what I'm saying. They might just go along with all of it. All right, let's take a look at gold, I guess. Now everyone like is lately been getting real jumpy. They're like, should we buy now? Should we buy now? I mean, you could scale into your position. You could buy in tranches, right? As gold falls, you could buy mining stocks and physical. Like you buy some here, buy a little bit here, you buy a little more here. As it keeps falling, you buy a little more and a little more. And once it's fallen by a lot, then you start loading up and accumulating, right? I mean, you don't have to buy all at once. Like, relax. Now, yeah, there are some ETFs. There are some stocks that are rallying despite the fact that the price of gold and silver is falling. And I told the guys in the private group, I'm not selling those. I'm holding them. I'm just adding to them on the corrections and the dips. Okay? The leveraged ETFs and some of the more risky and speculative stocks, those I sold, and I'm still waiting a little bit longer for buying opportunity because, okay, and that's why I haven't made a video. I told you guys in my last like 5 videos, a correction to 1700, 1750, very possible. Okay? And I expect it still, as of right now. Now, if our boy Blue wins, it might not fall all the way down there. It all depends on what it does in the next few weeks. If the orange guy wins, though, it's probably going to fall to 1750, 1700, around there for gold. What else? But if our boy Blue wins, I mean, a lot of conservatives are going to buy gold and silver. They just are. That's what they did when Obama was president. So, and they ran it up back then in 2016, 15, and 14 back then. Yeah, here's 2016. So, either way, though, it's going higher in the long term. By next spring, we'll probably have new highs in gold and silver. All right, guys. All-time highs possibly for silver, maybe. We'll see. It's really been suppressed. But listen, the world's gonna get more hectic no matter what. Okay, this is a major super cycle. The hard times are coming. We're not even in the hard times yet. We're at the beginning, okay? But real hardcore hard times are coming. All right. So that's pretty much what I have for now. I'll make another video. I'll make more videos this week. I've just been really busy. I'm gonna have a huge discount. I need to release spreadsheets and more opportunities for mining stocks. There's a lot, and that's exciting. Leave in the comment section what you want me to talk about, and thumbs up. Please share my videos. It's the only way my channel grows, and I'll continue to do this. Find me on other platforms. Join the free chat groups. You guys could talk in there, share info. My newsroom is off the hook. I get like the latest stuff, or not the latest. I get everything before it comes out, basically. Okay. Because it's weird. I have so many, like, I have all the perfect connections, I guess. All right, guys. Until next time.